Has it really been 2 weeks? Yes. Yes, it has. Friends! Hello! Welcome back to Amethyst Craftworks. In case you have forgotten, I am Samantha. And how are you today? I hope you were doing so good today. I hope you are having the most fabulous day today. I am. I will admit to you, I'm having a pretty good day today. And it is not because I'm actually here with another video on a Wednesday morning, just as the schedule should be, right? I feel like so many of my videos, probably for the last 6 months or so, have kind of all started with, hey, sorry for the, the drought on videos, but we're back. And then, it happens again and again and again and again and again, right? I will just admit to you guys, things have been rough, off and on for me, mentally, physically, work, private, all of it. Just things have been crazy, things have been stressful and overwhelming, and YouTube, while I love it, also takes like the lowest priority when it comes to everything else going on in my life. And so sometimes it ends up taking a back seat, and I don't want that, but it is what it is. And I think I always say, at least I'm here now, right? And that's true. At least I am here now because I have got a Movie Marquee Challenge update for you today. Now, I am sure you are familiar with the Movie Marquee Challenge, so I won't bore you with the nitty-gritty, the itty-bitty details on it, but just know that March last month was my month, and we picked, in case you can't tell, can you see my man? Let's maybe scoot him up a little bit. There you go, you can see Foxy on my t-shirt. The movie for the Movie Marquee Challenge for March was my pick, and it was Five Nights at Freddy's. That poster is what I was working with and what everyone else was working with for March to inspire a color palette, a theme, in whatever kind of project you are working on, whether it's parts of a project or one whole project, whatever it is that you wanted to do with FNAF as your inspo. And my project, I did finish my section for March. It is a blanket. Now, I believe way back in January, when I started this project with everyone else, of course, but in January, I think my whole inspiration to do a blanket was because I hadn't made a blanket in a very long time. I had spent a lot of time making cardigans and squares and yada yada, and I was really in the mood to make a blanket, even though I had also just finished the Stitch and Scream blanket, but I guess that doesn't count. But anyway, the whole inspo for making a blanket was because I was in the mood to make a blanket. And then as I am recording this, I am sitting here realizing that I've got 3 current whips going, all of which are blankets. Because I guess that's just the way we roll, right? I kind of go through phases of wanting to work on cardigans, and then wanting to work on blankets, and then wanting to work on stuffed animals, and then wanting to work on cardigans. And so now, apparently I'm in my blanket era, and that's fine, it's fine. Because look at this thing. Are you guys ready? Look at that. Is that not the coolest blanket you have seen? Don't tell me if it's not, but in my opinion, boy, it sure is. We've got January, February, and then March up here for FNAF. I can even show it up to you so you can see the colors a little bit better. I've got 12 rows of a checkerboard-ish kind of stitch. Brick stitch, I think, is maybe what it's called. I didn't pull it from anywhere. I just sort of pulled it from like the recesses of my memories. So I don't know exactly where I saw this stitch, but I love the way it turned out. The colors that I picked were all for the animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's, as well as a little nod up here with the green and the red to Matt Pat from the Game Theorists. But this turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. It looks so cool. And I also have the black up here at the top to cap off March. I had to do a little bit extra here. This first row of black is double crochets in these gaps and then half doubles everywhere else. And then, you know, I continued on with the half doubles because that's what these black sections are supposed to be, is half double crochets. And yeah, I think it turned out so cool. I also really like how this section leans warm. These colors are warm tones. But this section down here kind of leans cool tones. And then this section right here just looks like a cool kind of like stripe, like a racing stripe across the middle. I think this blanket is gonna be one of the coolest things that I have made. And I'm super stoked to add April onto it because we do have a new month and a new pick from Heather this time. And some new yarns and, you know, all that good stuff to talk about. So let me put this down and then let me grab my project bag for the movie marquee. All right, so the next section of the video is to talk about next month, or I guess this month. As of recording today, it is indeed April 1st, so it is this month, although it's kind of like at the end of the year, you know, with New Year and everything, you keep thinking it's the last year, but it's really the current year. Do you get what I'm saying? I keep thinking it's March, but no, it is actually April. My stupidity aside here, I have been working, for the most part, out of this book, the Crochet Stitch Dictionary by Sarah Hazell. I link it as well in the description down below to an Amazon listing in case you're curious. If you've never seen the book, if you want to check it out, it's there. I haven't yet picked out a stitch here. I'm not sure what I want to do with April. The stitch that I did in March didn't come out of here, so I'm thinking we're going to go back to the Stitch Dictionary. But I haven't quite decided yet. And that's okay. I'll figure it out. But I did figure out some yarns. So we do have that to work with. But then let's get into the yarns. Because the movie that Heather picked for the month of April was, drumroll please, Dazed and Confused. Now, just on a cursory glance, just looking at that movie poster, I'm sure you guys know that I like lit up, right? Those are my colors, purple and green, or to be perfectly honest with you, I can't tell if that color that's in the like lettering of the name of the title of the movie, I can't tell if that's green or yellow. So we're straddling both here in my color choices for the month. But you guys know those are my colors. I love those colors. And there's more in like the characters, the people on the poster. They're wearing clothes, of course, ain't that kind of movie. but they're wearing clothing that is in different colors and things, but I think you guys know that I zeroed in on the like tealy minty green. Right, tealy minty green, the greeny green, and the purple, right? Now those colors, of course, are going in this month's section. I keep wanting to call it a square. We're not doing squares this month, although, hold on. There may be a reason why I've got squares on the mind. That is a subject for another video. But these are not only like polluting my mind with ideas of squares. Hold on. Let me situate myself back in here. But not only are those like making me think of squares, but it's also using up quite a lot of my scrap yarns, I have to say. And so when I was searching for colors for Dazed and Confused, I had to dip into my new skeins of yarn. Now, I did at some point have a plan for these worsted 8 neon lights from Hirschner's. This one in particular is called Electrify. It is neon green, purple, yellow, and a very bright tealy blue, like a turquoise kind of blue. And I realized, let me hold it over here, that way you can compare with the poster. I thought this matched the poster pretty dang good. And when it comes to these other colors that I've got, I thought that made for such a gorgeous color palette that, like, the more I look at this is Aquamarine, I think, from Big Twist Value. Aqua, just called Aqua. This, like, bright, minty green, like, the more I use it, the more I like it, the more I love it. I can't get enough of this color. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think what I was trying to say was this color combination inspired like all kinds of like lightning bolts and fireworks in my brain. And I had to pull this variegated yarn in because, again, I think I cut myself off there, but I originally had plans for these various variegated neon light yarns from Hirschner's. And then, to be honest, they have just sat in a plastic tub in my living room since I bought them. And so I thought, let's work in a variegated yarn because none of the color sections, none of my color choices for the blanket so far have had a variegated in them. And let's, oh, I dropped it. And then let's also work that yellow into the blanket because I don't really have a neon yellow that I can think of that leans green. So it's like highlighter yellow, like greeny yellow. This is kind of as close as I can get. The other yellows I have are like a gold yellow, a like proper primary yellow. I don't even have a pastel yellow, and then like creams and stuff. And I also couldn't remember if I bought a lemon, laser lemon, I think is what it's called from Hirschner's. They're neon. But it doesn't even matter because this has it in it. This was also my favorite of the variegated neon lights. And I think working this through in a blanket that has otherwise been solid colored stripes is so much fun. And so I'm gonna, I don't know, I've got four colors. Maybe I'll do 8 rows, so 2 rows of each. And maybe I'll start and stop with the variegated, so maybe 9 rows. We'll see. It depends on what stitch I pick. It depends on what I'm feeling, what whims strike me, because as you guys are aware, this whole project is just me flying by the seat of my pants, basically. I'm just kind of figuring things out as I go, so it'll be a surprise to both you and to me when I show you my actual first update for the month of March. No, April. I knew in my brain. April. It's April. Say April. And then March comes tumbling out of my mouth. I think that is a sign. I think it is a sign that I just need to go, right? I need to let you go. I need to let my brain relax, I think. And I think I also need to go start on this for April, right? For April. And so I thank you so very much for joining me here today on a Movie Marquee Challenge update. We've got the month of March in our belts, under our belts, in our belts, under our belts. The month of March has been completed. We are now into April, and I am super excited to get started on it, so I hope you are as well. If you're curious, if you want to see what Heather and Bella are working on, what their color choices are, all that good stuff, they'll be linked down below as well. And when I've got another update or another video for you in general, I will just see you then. But until then, have a good day. Goodbye.